have a slight observation that I noticed, but I haven't really brought it up to many people. But in Surah Al-Dhariyat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says something like very, very peculiar. That when Musa alayhi salam went to Pharaoh, they had a dialogue, and of course Pharaoh rejected him. But then it says about Pharaoh, فَتَوَلَّى بِرُكْنِهِ وَقَالَ سَاحِرٌ أَوْ مَجْنُونَ. Then he turned away using his rukn, and he said, "You're just a magician or a crazy person." Okay. Exegetes, like from the earliest times, they kind of disagreed on what this means, but most of them say that the rukn, because in Arabic it means something that you stand on or something that helps you stand. They said it might be in reference to his hosts, just people. But the ayah is an istikhdam. It's like then he used his staff and turned away. Fatawalla bi ruknihi. It doesn't say fatawalla ma'a ruknihi, with alongside his hosts or whatever. So it's more explicitly that he turned away with something that helps him stand. And interestingly, they did CT scans and imaging on the bodies of the pharaohs that are associated with that time period. So it's Ramses the Second, Merneptah, I think one more. And out of all the different pharaohs, these two, Merneptah and Ramses II, had evidence of two diseases. One is called ankylosing spondylitis. So they had like fused vertebrae. That doesn't happen after death. It has to happen when you're
It's during
alive.
neurodevelopment, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't hear you actually.
Neurodevelopment is when the spinal cord is being developed as a baby, so it
No,
doesn't.
ankylosing spondylitis is an inflammatory disease. So it usually happens during like your 40s or 50s, where your sacroiliac and your
They fuse, yeah.
and your vertebrae they fuse, and it gives you a hunched back. It gives you a hunched back. And there's another disease called degenerative idiopathic skeletal something. It's called dish disease. Dish disease. So and it's like very worse. It can cause walking problems. It can cause back problems and back pain. And
Osteoporosis.
huh?
Osteoporosis.
It's a little more severe than osteoporosis.
The full name is diffuse idiopathic skeletal osteoporosis.
There we
Yeah.
go. What is it? What is the H?
Pardon?
What does the H stand for? Okay.
Hyperiostosis. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yep. That thing. And those two figures from ancient Egypt had those diseases, and so that they probably had some walking disorders at old age, and they might have needed a stick to walk. Okay? And when you look at the epigraphy, many of the ancient pharaohs are using sticks and staffs. The literal understanding of that passage is that when Moses had the dialogue with Pharaoh, he turned away using his stick, using his staff. فَتَوَلَّى بِرُكْنِهِ. If you look in Lisan al-Arab, rukn means الشيء التي يقوم به الشيء, something that helps something else stand. So this could possibly be that Pharaoh actually needed a stick to walk, and that he needed something to help him stand. And if that's the case, it
I've
gives you
actually
like
never heard of that.
I thought it was because of inbreeding. That's why I said it was neurodevelopment, but I didn't know it was actually something that developed later on in their lives. That's crazy.
yeah. Just look up mummies like Ramses II and ankylosing spondylitis, or Ramses II dish disease, and there are PubMed articles and NCBI articles that show this. This was done in Egypt,
That's
and
crazy.
and
I
so if
never heard of that. Wow.
yeah, I mean this is something that I noticed. I've never brought it up to anybody. So now, if you're thinking about that dialogue that he has with Pharaoh, like how absurd is it that this guy who can't even help himself stand is saying, "I'm your lord," and he
Mummy's
needs
the
something else to help
worst.
him stand. It's like it gives it a whole new level of like absurdity to that claim.
If we put it to quote unquote today's like understanding of ancient Egypt, Pharaoh is Ramesses II.
It could be Merneptah. I've read opinions that it might be Merneptah. Yeah, I mean a lot of it is done by, um, you know, again, epigraphy and hieroglyphics and iconography and
Yeah.
paleography, but yeah, I think it's possible that it's Merneptah, because Merneptah, like keep in mind, there's something called the Merneptah Stela. It's like a tablet that was discovered that was dated to around the time of Musa alayhi salam, and it's the earliest record of Israelites being in Egypt. So it could possibly be Barnabas.
Okay.
Wallahu a'lam.